The Spurs back on basketball's biggest stage, and once again, San Antonio is in the global spotlight. The impact of sports here goes far beyond the court. For decades, San Antonio sports has helped bring major events to the Alamo City, from NCAA championships to the San Antonio Marathon. And as we gear up for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, we of course have to talk sports and its impact. Joining me in studio tonight is President and CEO at San Antonio Sports, Ms. Jenny Carnes. Jenny, so good to see you.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. All right, so we've got you in the hot seat. Tomorrow's Global Running Day. We'll get to all of that because I know you got some fantastic things planned for the city. I want to talk about the San Antonio Marathon, from 6 months ago. Well, we got to talk about the Spurs.
How can we not?
Right.
It's a big week for the city all the way around, but let's start with one of my favorite topics.
Yeah, let's do it, because I feel like for you, you know firsthand what it's like to put on, major events that kind of have that global outreach. How significant is this for San Antonio? Because it's been a minute, a long minute.
It's been a minute. I've been in San Antonio since 1995. Moved here to play college basketball at UIW, and I remember where I watched that last game when we beat the Knicks in 1999.
Nice.
And so just have grown up watching the dynasty of Tim, Tony, and Manu and Pop, and to now see this new generation, the impact that it has on the city and how it brings us together as a community is second to none. And it is just such a fun time. Now I'm watching it through the eyes of a 10-year-old daughter who loves basketball. She loves her Spurs, and watching her so excited on Saturday night when we clinched.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No, it really is super emotional on Saturday. But I also think too, it's that unity part of it, which I'm glad you talked about. And that's what makes San Antonio so special, which I know, but it's also the dollars and cents too. Huge impact too on that front.
Yeah, and you already said it, being at San Antonio Sports and knowing what it takes to put on big events and the tourism dollars that drive those big events and what it can mean to an industry and to a community is huge. It's hard to even put a dollar figure on what the locals are spending to go out and watch at various places, whether you have a game ticket or not, and then how many people we'll see come in from New York over the next couple of games here locally. So it's just tremendous for San Antonio all the way around.
It really is. All right, let's pivot now to the San Antonio Marathon. It's been, about 6 months now since the first one. And, I was looking at the impact report, nearly 19,000 participants, sold out race weekend. Let's talk about that impact for the city.
Exceeded our expectations in our inaugural year. Just couldn't be prouder of our team and what San Antonio was able to put on after 16 years of being with the Rock and Roll Running Series, and knowing that we wanted to build a marathon by San Antonio for San Antonio. And so almost 19,000 runners, you just said it. I think 19,000 runners had about 2.5 guests with them to cheer them on. We filled over 11,000 hotel room nights during a pretty dead time for downtown San Antonio in December. And almost $22 million in direct visitor spending, which is a big deal in December. Yeah.
As we kind of look ahead to future races, what lessons did you kind of learn from year one, and what do you hope to do for the city with this type of event?
Well, we leaned in hard to our theme, which was every step tells a story. And that's the perspective of the runner from the time they register to the time they cross the finish line, but also telling the story of San Antonio. So we want to continue that message going forward for years to come. And not just the 45,000 people that ran and came with their runners, that pales in comparison to the number of people that came out on the route to cheer on those participants that Sunday morning last year. And I think we'll see that continue to grow and feel more and more like the New York Marathon and the Boston Marathon, and really drive that community spirit.
And that's the idea, hopefully, is to get us to that level, like other major cities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. All right, tomorrow's Global Running Day.
Like
June
I said,
3rd.
It's not just about the Spurs this week. It's a big week in San Antonio.
Other things happening tomorrow. So what do we have planned?
So Global Running Day tomorrow, which we will celebrate all week, but we have 3 events going on tomorrow evening. The main one being at Hemisphere Park, which is now turned into a Spurs watch party. So a great place to come out, register for the marathon, go do a short run, come back and watch the game. We will also be at Ranch Motel on Broadway and down at Mission County Park. But the most important thing, whether you come out to one of our events or not, is that we are doing the only sale of the year for registering for this year's San Antonio Marathon. And that started today, will go on while supplies last, as we limit that by race event, 5K, 10K, or excuse me, 5K, half marathon, and full marathon. So the full marathon today is $26.20 off. The half is $13.10 off, and the 5K is $5 off. So you see the theme.
I see the theme, and continuing to tell San Antonio's
Yeah.
story. 184 days away. I look.
184 days away. Sign up and get these awesome medals that we're working on the design for this year. So come out, and you don't have to run it. You can walk it. I've walked plenty of half marathons. So, come out and walk the 5K with your family.
That is right up my speed. Jenny Carnes, President and CEO of San Antonio Sports. We appreciate
Thank you
so much. Thank you for being here. And of course, Bill is up next with weather. Stay with us.